Hey guys, welcome back to our Yamaha sponsored new rider series. We talked about gear in the last video. I'm not wearing any, and there's a reason for that. I've got my friend Edgar here from the SoCal Off-Road School. He's gonna take care of Troy today, get him set up with the basic fundamentals of off-road riding so you really have a good base to, bring your skills up, right?
That's right. I'm here to get you confident on the dirt, just like I've heard you're comfortable on the road, so.
I think you've got your work cut out for you, but let's do this.
Yeah. I like the challenge.
All right, Edgar, let's get right to it. Teach me.
All right, first things first is body position, right? I'll give you an idea of what to think when you're riding, from how to sit down, where to put your feet, where to look, where to kind of have your hands. So you can bring both of your feet up for me. You can start by turning your toes in on your pegs.
Toes
I like
in.
that. I like how you already scoot up on that bike, right? That's gonna allow you to hold the bike around the tank a little bit easier.
All right.
As you notice, the further you sit on the back, right? A couple of things. One, there's a bigger gap between your legs, right? So the bike can shake you off very easily. And then another thing is your arms are fully stretched out, right? So you don't really have control at all of that front wheel, right? So I'm gonna scoot you up. There we go. Allows you to keep those legs nice and tight. At the same time, allows for your upper body to rest on top of your bars, right? Because now you notice it's not that you're holding on so much. Now you're putting some weight towards those bars. That weight will turn into traction up or over the front wheel, right? So your bike can be settled at all times. At the same time that your toes are turned in, you have some solid contact between your legs and the bike. Now you're able to weight those pegs, right, evenly through those legs. That weight will turn into traction for the rear wheel, all right?
So effectively, me being in this position turns me into just another part of the suspension.
Correct.
Okay.
It allows you to work with the bike, right? That will eventually turn the ride into a lot more enjoyable, other than just holding on and letting the bike take you on for the ride. Because I don't know about you, but I'll rather lead the bike than get led by the bike. So,
For sure.
And then lastly will be chest and your vision, right? I
Right.
like how your chest is nice and up. That will allow you for you to look ahead at all times, right? The more you bring your chest closer down into those bars, right, your vision will come down to the ground, and now you'll feel tight at certain points. So let's try to always have some room between the bars towards your chest. Always have your elbows nice and into that 90 degree. So in case you do need a bit more room to control that front wheel, you're able to, right? Other than that, you ride with your elbows tucked in. Now you can only turn so much, or how I like to say, now you have T-Rex arms, right? Nice and tight out here. So might as well open them up, allow yourself to, in case of an emergency, you have a lot more room to control. Okay, now standing up will be closer to the same. Really good. I liked how you stood up nice and tall. Now pay attention, right? Your knees are slowly falling forward, your hips are forward. So now again, you're tight up in that front of the bike. So same thing when standing up. We want to be comfortable, we want to be balanced on the bike.
Are my toes still pointed in?
Your toes are still pointed in, but I'm gonna adjust your legs, right?
Okay.
Let's lock your legs. Let's bring them back.
Okay.
There we go. Now that you have your legs nice and straight and your feet are flat, we're gonna push on those ankles. So we have a flex, we have some sort of pressure on those ankles at the bottom of your feet, right? So now you're pushing your weight down into the ground, allowing the rear wheel to be stuck into the ground, giving you the best traction. We'll do the same over the front. You're gonna open up your elbows, keep your legs in the back.
Oh, okay.
Open up your elbows. I like how you're hinching at the hips, but don't forget to rest into those bars. So again, create that weight over the front wheel. Now your bike's nice and balanced.
Okay.
Always keeping your hips a little bit further back will allow you to gain full control of those handlebars, right? As soon as your hips come forward, your chest will become straighter, and now you feel very tight, very uncomfortable. You'll rather take a seat.
And my arms get straighter.
Correct. And now all your weight's up in the front wheel. So now the front wheel is super, super heavy. When the rear is nice and light, and bike will feel off balance and lose traction a lot easier, right? Other than that, now open up your elbows a little bit more, and don't be shy. lean over those bars. Your legs are holding you for your chest not to be so heavy into those arms. If your knees come forward, your hips will push forward. Now all your weight's on your hands, correct? Right? You want to put most of the weight through those ankles, keeping the bike nice and tight down there.
Okay.
Now when we're riding and you hit a couple soft spots or some rocks, see how you're so stable on your bike?
Right.
Right? Just by pushing down towards those ankles, having that solid contact in between your legs.
I see.
And then remember, don't be shy. Stay forward, right?
Right.
Lead with your face. The bike needs to feel the extra weight over the front wheel so it can find that traction and get you out of there. Other than that, all your weight's on the rear wheel. Front end is very unstable.
So when am I going between standing back and being
You
forward?
never stand back.
Okay.
As soon as you stand back, you lose all the control of the front wheel.
All right.
Right?
So it's this position.
Correct. Resting through the hands into those bars at the same time that your legs are pushing you forward by dropping those ankles.
I see.
Okay?
Okay.
And then when you take a seat, there we go. You sit in front of the bike, nice and tight.
Okay. Okay.
Stand up. Drop those ankles. Perfect. Take a seat. Okay. And then lastly, because you're so far back on your pegs from your controls, either your rear brake or your shifter, you have to take a step forward to engage those controls, right? So for example, take a step forward, engage your rear brake, right? Big step forward, big step back. Try not to slide your boot back and forth because it will get stuck, right?
Yep.
Movements, forward and back. While you work on your right, leg will stay nice and put, right? Nice and tight. That way the bike doesn't feel all that offset immediately, right? One at a time, one thing first, then the other. That way at the same time, you're also not getting rushed.
Right.
Okay? And then lastly, always looking ahead. Your bike goes where your vision goes, right? So we stare at the rocks, we're gonna go straight into the rocks, so on and so forth. So because we're looking ahead, it will allow you to have full control on the bike in the sense of knowing when to get on the gas, when to get on the brakes, when to downshift, right? So vision is very, very important. If you're not comfortable by keeping your vision ahead, then you're going a little bit too fast. Slow it down, get comfortable on this position,
Sure.
right? Be comfortable over the bike. Know that you are having the bike under control, so that will allow you to keep your vision looking ahead. Other than that, your vision will come down. You'll start giving the bike all this room, right?
Things get crazy at
And
that
then
point.
we know what happens after that.
Right.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right, Troy. So with that being said, are you ready to go hit the trails?
Ready is a strong word, but let's try anyway.
Okay, let's try it. Remember, little by little, we'll get that confidence up, and then once we have some confidence, it should be a lot easier to stay on that body position. Whatever you do, never push back, right? If you feel a bit uncomfortable, clutch in, slow it down. We'll recess your body position and then start from zero again. Don't just wing it because you will hit the deck.
Oh God, I don't want to do that. All right, let's give it a try.
Let's do it.
All right, Edgar, that was pretty eye-opening, and I know there's more to learn, so what's next?
Correct. There is more to learn. So we'll work on being efficient, right? We'll work on steering the bike with the legs, not so much with the upper body.
Okay.
So first things first, bring both of your feet up. I will hold you
Got the
down.
bike?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, so now that you're nice and tight, I want you to feel what it feels to push on one leg more than the other.
Okay.
Right? Don't tell me which one, just push on one more than the other. You can see how the bike slowly starts to lean over.
Yep.
Right? So that's what we're gonna want to use in the trail to help you steer the bike, right? What I'm trying to say is nice and tall on your chest, always having that weight over the bars, right? And as you're pushing on the individual leg, you want to lean with your body. So you don't want to lean the opposite, right? So you push and you lean, There we go. And that's gonna help you have your arms nice and light at all times. It will help you stay a lot more confident on the bike because you have it nice and tight down here, not from the highest point of contact, which will be your hands.
Okay.
All right, same thing standing up. Stand up for me. There we go. Bring your knees back, stake out your hips a little bit more, open up your elbows, lean forward. Same thing, weight one leg more than the other. Feel how the bike leans over without you doing much effort, right? Don't push your knees forward, just drop your heels. There we go. There we go.
Okay.
Perfect. So that's the feeling that we're gonna look when we're riding. Obviously right now, having the bike standing still, it's a little bit heavier than it really is when it's riding, correct?
Okay.
So once we're riding, focus on pushing one leg at a time as you enter that corner. So once you're at the corner, the bike's already lean at the angle and it keeps pushing you forward. Not you get into that corner, you crank the bars, now the bike feels a bit off balance and the turn starts to get shorter and shorter, right? You run out of real estate really quick.
So we're using weight transfer to steer the bike and not just doing this
Correct.
to steer the
Correct.
bike.
You're using a lot more of your legs, right? Allowing for you to keep your bike nice and tight between those legs. So if you do hit a rock, hit a soft spot as you're coming around a corner, you're nice and tight, you're under control, not just trying to crank the bars. Your chest will get pushed back. Now you hit a soft spot, you feel the front end wobble a little bit, and then you know where that goes from there.
Yeah, I don't want to. That's the plan.
Correct. So little by little, look where you're going, anticipate those movements, so when you get to that corner, you're already leaning, not when you get to that corner, you have to react,
Okay.
right?
So Edgar, that all makes sense in my head, but I know, especially living here in Southern California, there's a lot of sand, and the very few times I've been in the sand, you talked about having that feeling for what the bike is doing, and it's just like, for me in the sand, it just feels, I have no feeling at all. Like, tell me more about how do I wrap my head around feeling the bike in like loose sand and stuff like that?
So not just in loose sand, I would just say in all types of terrain. Biggest thing is be prepared for it, right? So if you already enter the sand with your legs wide open, your elbows down, from there you're just chasing the bike hoping for the best, right? If you always anticipate sand sections, uphills, rocky section, and you will have a bigger advantage, right? Because you're always ready and your bike will be nice and planted from having weight on the rear, having weight over the front, having a target, right? Having a point to where you want to push, not just staring at the ground, kind of figuring out what to do next, right? So I would say biggest thing for any of crazy terrain change will be anticipated. If you see a sand, but make sure you're standing up, right? Heavy on your feet. Know that the sand's gonna want to shift your bike back and forth between your legs. So try to keep that tight. If that for some reason is still shaking you off, drop those ankles, right? Push all the weight down into the ground. Weight over the bars so the front wheel can be nice and settled. And then biggest thing, everywhere else will be looking ahead. The more you can look where you want to go, the easier, the smoother you will feel on top of your bike. As soon as you start wondering where you're gonna go, it's just a matter of time and a guessing game and how long you can hold on top of that bike.
It's like what I'm getting here is the overall message is fundamentals, fundamentals, fundamentals. Doesn't matter where you are.
Correct. A great fundamentals will just build the confidence and help you ride through all types of terrains, right? At the same time, those fundamentals gives you feedback in the sense that you will notice when you're losing traction on the rear. You will notice when you're losing traction up in the front wheel. You will notice when the bike's acting a little bit funny, right? Just because you're all over the bike, not always hiding behind the bars, hoping for the best.
Cool. Edgar, I know I'm making a ton of mistakes out there, so I gotta ask you, when you're doing your schools and teaching your schools, what are some common mistakes you see other students making?
Don't be so hard on yourself, right? Biggest thing that a lot of people forget about is the fundamentals. From start opening up their legs, right? Working a little bit too heavy on their hands, staring at the ground. So I would say work on those things. Keep your bike tight. Make sure you know what the bike's going through, right? Have a vision to where you want to go. Give yourself the best chance of having the bike nice and straight, and that's going to become by having your chest nice and open, giving your elbows enough room, so in case you do have to steer a little bit harder than others, you're ready for it, not always be behind the bars and having to react the last second.
All right, we'll work on that.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, how'd it go? Edgar, were you able to teach Troy anything?
He's out here, he's still alive, he's now smiling, so I think it went really good.
I think so. It sounds like he's having fun.
I mean, if you guys could feel my pulse right now, my heart rate is kind of like through the roof. But we did it, we're doing the thing, and it's really eye-opening. So thanks, Edgar, for all the tips and advice. Like, it's really, you know, I've been riding motorcycles for a long time, but not like this. And so, like, it's like learning a new language. So it's very cool.
Hey, you're welcome. And like I said, you know, take it little by little. Don't let the speed overcome your riding techniques, right? Focus on those fundamentals. As soon as those fundamentals become a second habit for you, the speed will start showing up, and then you're gonna come in a couple months and be like, Edgar, I'm ready for the Baja 1000.
Whoa, you gotta set that bar a lot lower, buddy.
Well, that pretty much wraps it up for this episode, guys. Stay tuned for the next one where we talk about how all of this makes you a better rider on the street. Please like, comment, and subscribe.